Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh and in today's video we will be discussing about the review petition and its procedure. So everything about review petition, that what is review petition and why is it in news. So first of all, the timeline. First we'll be looking at the news, then what is review petition and why the review petition, then review petition in court, what are the grounds for it, who can file it and who cannot, then what is its procedure, and if review petition fails then what can be done. In the end, a prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from general studies paper 2, that is polity. From exam perspective, you should be able to know first of all what is review petition, then its constitutional provisions, and then why is it in news. This news has been taken from the Indian Express and it says Centre files review petition against Supreme Court order on Delhi services. How does a review petition get heard in court? So what has happened recently, as we are very much aware that there is always a tussle going on between the Delhi Lieutenant Governor and the Delhi government, that is Delhi Lieutenant Governor and Delhi Chief Minister. So recently what has happened is the administrative services of Delhi, that is the Group A services or the Danik cadre. So what has happened recently is that the Delhi government was always in favor of getting the control of the administrative services of Delhi. But recently what has happened is when the Supreme Court passed its judgment that the control of the transfer and posting of the administrative officers or the Group A officers of Delhi is with the Delhi government, the centre recently passed an ordinance and gave the power to the Lieutenant Governor. So this is what has happened in the recent past, and continuing in this scenario has recently the centre has filed a review petition against the Supreme Court order on Delhi services. So this is what has happened. So the central government moved the Supreme Court, filing a review petition against the court May 11 judgment. So what is the court judgment? The court gave the judgment that the control of the administrative services of Delhi, that is the Group A services or the Danik cadre, should be with the Delhi government headed by the Chief Minister. But then the central government moved an ordinance and gave the power to the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi and made the Lieutenant Governor more powerful. Now what has happened is this order of the Supreme Court, which made the Delhi government more powerful and gave the control of the administrative services in the hands of the Delhi government, the centre has filed a review petition against this order of the Supreme Court. So the government has promulgated an ordinance to create the National Capital Civil Service Authority. So when the centre passed an ordinance and made the LG of Delhi more powerful, they also created a National Capital Civil Service Authority, which will be responsible for the transfer and control of the administrative services of Delhi and empowered to recommend transfers, postings and disciplinary actions relating to all Group A and Danik's officer. This is what would be the work of the National Capital Civil Service Authority, which has been created by an ordinance by the centre. Now let's see that why the review petition has been filed by the centre against the Supreme Court order. So the Supreme Court has delivered judgment in favor of the Delhi government that the administrative services of Delhi would come under the Delhi government. And the Supreme Court ruling places three constitutional principles. So these are the three principles on which the Supreme Court gave its ruling. That is representative democracy, that we live in a representative democracy. Then there is federalism, the state and the centre are two different entities. And then there should be an accountability. So the services or the administrative services officers should be accountable to someone. So these three are the constitutional principles on which Supreme Court gave its ruling. To an elected government within the interpretation of Article 239 AA. So this ruling of the Supreme Court came in light Article 239 AA. So what is Article 239 AA that came into light when the Supreme Court gave its ruling? So Article 239 AA also talks about the 69th Amendment Act 1991 because both came at the same time. Article 239AA conferred special status on Delhi. So this is the article which has conferred a special status on Delhi and the framework for the functioning of the Legislative Assembly and the government of Delhi. So this is what the Article 239AA talks about, that Delhi has a special status and how the government of Delhi would work and how the Legislative Assembly of Delhi will function. This is what has been given in the Article 239AA. Then the current ordinance which was issued by the center government, it takes away the power from the Delhi government and places it with a statutory body, that is National Capital Civil Service Authority. So the ordinance which has recently been issued by the center, it takes away the power of the Delhi government, and the power of the Delhi government which has been given by the Article 239AA, that the functioning of the Legislative Assembly and the government of Delhi, it talks about in Article 239AA. But the recent ordinance, it takes away this power of the Delhi government and gives the power to a statutory body which has been created by the ordinance, and the name of the statutory body is the National Capital Civil Service Authority. And this authority which has recently been created by the ordinance will look into the transfer, postings and the disciplinary actions of the administrative service officers of Delhi, that is the Group A officers. And the National Capital Civil Service Authority comprises of the Chief Minister of Delhi, Chief Secretary of Delhi and the Principal Home Secretary of Delhi government. This is what is the composition of the National Capital Civil Service Authority. So this is very important because many a time we have seen that the composition of the bodies have been asked, and this body has been created recently by an ordinance. Okay, which article is ordinance? Ordinance comes under which article of Indian Constitution? That is Article 123. So ordinance has been brought in, and this has given the birth to a statutory body, that is National Capital Civil Service Authority, and the authority comprises of 3 people, that is Chief Minister of Delhi first, second is the Chief Secretary of Delhi government, and third is the Principal Home Secretary of the Delhi government. Then comes the review petition in court. So what is that review petition? So review petition is, like for example, if the Supreme Court has given any kind of judgment, then the judgment becomes the law of the land. But if any mishappening or if any wrong has been found in the judgment, then a review petition can be filed. Then what is review petition? Is the judgment of the Supreme Court which becomes the law of the land. But in the Article 137, the Article 137 gives the power to the Supreme Court to review any of its judgment or order. So the Constitution is giving the power to the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court can review any of its judgment or order, and this has been given under specific and narrow grounds. It's not that on every single judgment which the Supreme Court has given, the review petition can be filed only under exceptional and rare conditions, and that is very narrow grounds and specific grounds. What is allowed in a review petition and what is not? So what is allowed is correct grave errors. So if there is any kind of grave error which has been found in the judgment or the order of the Supreme Court, then it can be corrected. Then what is not allowed is minor mistakes is not allowed, and then not to take fresh stock of the case. It is not that the case will be taken up entirely new. No, there will be rarely when the review petition would be filed, and if that would be filed, then the minor mistakes would not be entertained. Only when the grave errors can be found, then only the review petition would go forward and their changes can be made. Now, grounds for review petition. So what are the grounds on which review petition can be filed? So there are 3 grounds on which review petition can be filed or can be looked into. First and foremost is discovery of new and important matter or evidence which after the existence of due diligence was not within the knowledge of the petitioner or could not be produced by him. So if something new has been produced which was not given earlier and that has a major impact and that plays a very important role in the judgment or the order given by the Supreme Court, then yes, then the review petition would go forward and that will be looked into. Second, mistake or error apparent on the face of the record. If any kind of mistake has been found on the record, then review petition would go forward, or any other sufficient reason, and these sufficient reasons has to be other than these first two. So these 3 are the grounds on which the review petition can be filed, that there should be a grave error which could have been found, and then any kind of mistake should come forward, or the error should be very much apparent, that and then the error or the mistake which has been done, it can change the course of the judgment. So these 3 are the grounds for the review petition. Then in the case Union of India versus Sandur Manganese and Iron Ores Limited 2013, in this case of 2013, the Supreme Court laid down 9 principles on when a review is maintainable. So in this case, Supreme Court said that it is not that only on the basis of 2 to 3 grounds the review petition should be seen. Then it increased the criteria and 9 principles was added. Then comes that who can file a review petition. Is there anyone who is specific that only that person can file the review petition? Then no. The parties to a case can seek a review. So all the parties which are associated or which are impacted by the judgment or the order of the Supreme Court can file the review petition, and any person aggrieved by a ruling can seek a review. Then any party or any person who get affected or are associated with the judgment can file the review petition in the Supreme Court. Then what is the procedure for the review petition? So the review petition has to be filed within 30 days of the date of judgment or order. So imagine on any date, like for example, the month of May is going on. So if you can imagine that on 1st of May, any kind of judgment or order has been given by the Supreme Court, then within 30 days from 1st of May, that is for example 31st of May, the review petition has to be filed. Then review petitions would ordinarily be entertained without oral argument by lawyers. So oral argument by lawyers would not be allowed or entertained in the review petition. Then it can be heard only through circulation by the judges in their chambers. So oral arguments would not be there, circulation would be there, and preferably it is heard by the same combination of judges who delivered the order or judgment. So the Supreme Court bench which gave the final order, verdict or the judgment, the same bench would be hearing the review petition. And in exceptional cases, the court allows an oral hearing also. On usual times, if the review petition is filed, then oral hearing would not take place. Only in exceptional conditions, the oral hearing would take place. And then within 30 days, it has to be filed. Then the bench which has given the judgment or the order will be seeing, the same bench will be seeing the review petition. Then next come, if review petition fails. So if the review petition does not work, what is the other procedure that can be followed? So in the Rupa Hurra versus Ashok Hurra 2002 case, the concept of curative petition came into being. So what happened? First, the review petition can be filed, and if review petition fails, then a curative petition can be filed. But curative petition is not a usual phenomena in the Supreme Court. It cannot be filed. It is not that in every single case the curative petition is filed. Only in the exceptional and rare cases the curative petition is filed, because this is not a usual phenomena. Then can be heard after a review is dismissed to prevent abuse of its process, and it can be entertained on very narrow grounds like a review petition, and is generally not granted on oral hearing. So this is, the curative petition is also not granted on oral hearing. So see, if any, how does things start? Things start from district court, then it goes to high court, then it goes to Supreme Court, and in Supreme Court also they have different benches, and if the judgment is given and people are not fine with it, all the associated parties and individuals, then they can file a review petition, and if review petition also gets failed, then they can file a curative petition against it. Now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section, and it says the National Capital Civil Services Authority comprises of, and this is the authority which has recently been created by the ordinance which was passed by the central government: Chief Minister of Delhi, Chief Secretary of Delhi Government, Principal Home Secretary of Delhi Government, and the codes are 3 only, 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So try to give me the answer in the comment section. I hope you will be able to do this because we have discussed this in the video. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.